Good morning, everybody. On behalf of Institute of Town Planners India and Haryana Regional Chapter, I welcome everybody, the eminent guests and the respected participants of this workshop, and followed by the AGM of Haryana Regional Chapter. जैसा कि हमारे यहाँ पे प्रथा है, सांस्कृतिक तौर पे हम सबसे पहले दीप प्रज्वलित करके इस कार्यक्रम की शुरुआत करेंगे। मैं रिक्वेस्ट करता हूँ एक बार दीप प्रज्वलित के इस कार्यशाला का शुभारंभ करें। Sir, now on behalf of ITPI HRC, it's our privilege, and I take this opportunity to welcome the chief guest of this program, Shri Apur Kumar Singh IAS, the Principal Secretary Town and Country Planning and Urban Estates and HSVP. I welcome sir on behalf of HRC team, and we are especially thankful, sir, for sparing time from your busy schedule and encouraging us for organizing this event, sir. And now I request DTP Vijay sir to please felicitate the chief guest AK Singh sir with the bouquet, sir, and for encouraging us for organizing this program, sir. Sure. Vijay sir, please.
Thank you, Vijay.
Thank you, sir. We are honored with your encouraging things. Now I request Vijay sir also to give a memento, to present a memento sir, to AK Singh sir on behalf of ITPI HRC, please. Thank you, sir. We are also felicitating Shri Ajit Balaji Joshi, Chief Administrator HSVP, and we are the memento for Ajit Balaji Joshi sir is being received by Sudhir Chauhanji, who will later deliver to sir. Sir will join later. As we all know, sir is very encouraging, and the chairperson is guiding us through this program. Later on, we will also Shri Khandelwal sir will also join. Sir, now I'll take few minutes to share the history of ITPI and the main functions of ITPI. Sir, this institute was set up in 1951 when various town planners across the states they started coming together and deliberating on various issues of town planning, because that was the emerging field at that time. So after almost 10-15 years, this profession become an organized profession, and there later on the memorandum of article on and article of association bylaws of Town Planning Institute were also formed. As on date, sir, more than 6,500 members we have in the town planners family, and the town planners across various states are facilitating with the state governments and the academic institutions and various other NGO sectors, and organizing various studies and helping in policy interventions on the issues of urban inclusive planning. Uh, just to also, sir, just to share, I feel very happy to share this, that the building of Haryana Institute of Town Planner, the foundation stone was set up on 6th April 2004, and almost in a very short span time of 2 years, the building was constructed in 2006, and on 19th August the building was inaugurated, and in very short time we were able to construct this building, and it is the symbol of the teamwork of our seniors who have worked towards the profession, and this has become a great place where we can sit together, we can deliberate, we can think of researches, we can talk on policy issues. So this is a good institute we have in place. The main objective of ITPI is basically, sir, to advance the study of town planning, civic design, the various sciences related to town planning, and the applied sciences on various dynamic subjects, and to promote the planned economic, scientific, and artistic development of towns, cities, and rural areas. Then the institute also promotes to the general interest of the town planners practicing across the states and across the countries. It also fosters various studies and various researches and IEC things by organizing various conferences at the city, town, national, and international levels. And the Institute of Town Planner ITPI, through its member, is also formally member of various committees across the state as well as across the Union of India. Important ministries like Ministry of Urban Development, Ministry of Housing, Poverty Alleviation, where the town planning members are participating in policy formulations and also in implementation through its members who are working across the states. Now, as far as the topic of today's workshop is concerned, sir, we have conducted a relevant study in today's context. We have a unique river in Panchkula, and that's why we have conducted a riverfront development study on Ghaggar, sir, and we have taken the case studies of Lucknow. We have taken case studies of Gandhinagar, sir. We have taken some case studies from Sabarmati River, sir, in Ahmedabad, sir. So this study will be presented by the research officer who has done this study, and it is a very interesting study. Ms. Gurpreet Kaur, research officer, who has the alumni of JNDU, she will be sharing the study, sir. The aim of this workshop is to come up with a framework which allows to deliberate on the various policies and which are related to the not only related to the profession of town planners, but as well as how the town planners and the this profession can contribute to the better inclusive urban planning. So this workshop, sir, we keep organizing such workshop through this chapter, and this really motivate us. And sir, the motivation like senior officers like A.K. Singh sir, Ajit Balaji sir, our director Saab Makrand Pandurang sir, and even sir K.K. Khandelwal sir, who really deals with the issues, and really they motivate us how to come up with the practical policies and practical urban planning things which can really impact and which can really help the town planners as a profession to deliver as per the needs of the hour and as per the needs of the people, because planning in isolation have no impact until unless it is not beneficial to the end users. So I will not take much time, sir, since we have lot to follow. So once again, I extend a great thanks to A.K. Singh sir for giving time and motivating us for organizing this workshop. Really welcome, sir. And I would also like to share, sir, recently A.K. Singh sir and Khandelwal sir, they have released and published a book. The title is the Prevention and Control of Pollution in Haryana. The book is titled as the Air Act 1981. So this reflect, this shows that our chief guest and the KK Khandelwal sir, they have great interest in the academics, and they really like things to do. So we are already motivated by sir's endeavors. We request, sir, we keep receiving your guidance like this. Once again, on behalf of ITPI HRC, sir, I welcome and thanks for giving us time, sir. Thank you, sir. Now I request AK Singh sir also to please, sir, kindly release the book. Thank you, sir. We are really honored, sir.
इतनी सारी के छोड़ रहे हो, एक वहाँ है, एक ये।
Now I will invite Miss Gurpreet Kaur, research officer, who's sir. Now may I request the chief guest, respected AK Singh sir, to please share few words, sir, before we make the formal presentation of the study, sir. नहीं बोल रहे हैं sir, unmute.
Good morning, everybody. It is indeed an honor that the town planners are meeting today and presenting a study on the riverfront development in the Ghaggar River, which will follow now the book release. Most of you would know, I mean, for me, it's quite a new experience. But town planning is a very, very important part of our national planning. This country was barely 11% urbanized at the turn of previous century. जब 19 से हम 20वीं शताब्दी में आए, 1901 में मात्र 11% आबादी शहर में रहती थी, जो 1951 में तकरीबन 17% पहुंची और 2001 में 28% और 2030 तक जो प्रोजेक्शन है वर्ल्ड बैंक स्टडी के कि 40% के करीब लोग इस देश की आबादी शहरों में रहेगी। अगर आप नंबर्स देखें, परसेंटेज देखें तो ज्यादा नहीं लगता कि चौगुनी हुई है, पर अगर आप नंबर्स देखेंगे, हिंदुस्तान की आबादी 2030 तक शायद 145 करोड़ हो, उसमें से 40% यानी तकरीबन 60 करोड़ लोग, जो कि देश की आजादी के टाइम आबादी का दुगना है। सो द नंबर्स आर, दे स्पीक मोर देन द परसेंटेजेस। 11% जब हम कहते हैं 1901 में, तो वो है करीब 28-30 करोड़ का, यानी 3 करोड़ लोग। 3 करोड़ से सीधे आप करीब 60 करोड़ यानी 20 गुना ज्यादा लोग शहरी क्षेत्र में रहेंगे। तो बहुत बड़ा रोल है टाउन प्लानिंग ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का, टाउन प्लानर्स का, हमारे इसमें मदद करने का, जिससे कि जब रह रहे हो तो सारे स्लम में ना रहें, प्लान्ड, डेवलप्ड, प्रॉपरली सर्व्ड कॉलोनीज में रहें, जहां पानी, बिजली, सड़क, सीवर वगैरह वगैरह की जो सुविधाएं हैं एक अर्बन एरिया को जो चाहिए होती हैं, जिससे कि कोई बीमारी ना फैले, लोग स्वस्थ रहें, लोग अपने काम धंधे से लगें। सबसे बड़ा रोल टाउन प्लानिंग ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का है। हरियाणा टाउन प्लानिंग डिपार्टमेंट हमेशा से इसमें आगे रहा है। जब से ये डिपार्टमेंट बना है, वैसे तो वीके अब रिटायर हो गए हैं, पर वीके और सिहाग दोनों को मैंने कई बार कहा था कि एक हिस्ट्री सी बनाओ, कोई बुकलेट, कि ये टाउन प्लानिंग ऑर्गेनाइजेशन डिपार्टमेंट जो है हरियाणा का कैसे बना। तो एक बार बात भी आई थी कि शायद शिमला में कोई मीटिंग हुई, उसमें एक चिट्ठी है जरा सी छोटी सी, जिसमें कि कहा कि एक संस्था ये बननी चाहिए क्योंकि अर्बनाइजेशन बढ़ रहा है। शायद प्रताप सिंह कैरो जी की सरकार थी, जॉइंट पंजाब। तो वी शुड ट्राई एंड मेक कि किस तरह ये ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ग्रो करी है। हमारे माननीय मुख्यमंत्री का भी इस डिपार्टमेंट में विश्वास है। अभी रीऑर्गेनाइजेशन चल रहा है, लगभग हर डिपार्टमेंट कुछ ना कुछ कट देख रहा है। रीऑर्गेनाइजेशन में सीएम साहब कहते हैं राइट साइजिंग होनी चाहिए, पर एकमात्र शायद यही डिपार्टमेंट है, और एक्साइज एंड टैक्सेशन, जिसमें मुख्यमंत्री जी ने कहा है कि ये प्लानिंग के हैं, रेवेन्यू के हैं, दोनों चीज लिंक्ड हैं। वी आर द ओनली डिपार्टमेंट जहां प्लानिंग भी है और अच्छा खासा रेवेन्यू स्टेट का है, एक्सचेकर का। एक्साइज एंड टैक्सेशन तो प्योरली रेवेन्यू है। इन दोनों में उन्होंने कहा है इजाफा होना चाहिए, ऑफिसर ओरिएंटेशन होना चाहिए। तो जो अब तक की चर्चा है उसमें आपके एटीपी और डीटीपी के पद क्रमशः 70% और 50% की बढ़ोतरी होगी। सीटीपी के पदों में शायद 30% की बढ़ोतरी है, और ओवरऑल डिपार्टमेंट में एक नया पद प्लानिंग ऑफिसर का क्रिएट करके, अभी प्लानिंग असिस्टेंट है, एटीपी है, डीटीपी, एसटीपी, एक प्लानिंग असिस्टेंट और प्लानिंग अफसर लगभग बराबर लेवल पे, आई थिंक ग्रेड पे थोड़ा सा अंतर है। एक नया पद भी सृजित हो रहा है, एक्सपेंशन हो रहा है, और ओवरऑल जो अप्रूव हुआ है 1000 कुछ से लेके 1447 पद अब टेंटेटिव अप्रूव हुए हैं इस विभाग के, जिसमें मैंने बताया एटीपी के नियरली 70% पोस्ट बढ़ेंगी, डीटीपी के 50%, एसटीपी भी शायद 31%, और सीटीपी भी करीब 30-40%। Ex cadre or cadre, we will be the only department giving town planners to the entire state, be it urban local bodies, be it HSIDC, be it marketing board, housing board, any organization requiring, we will have ex cadre। जैसे IAS HCS में है कि कुछ पद तो इन cadre और उसके बाद डेपुटेशन के, ex cadre पोस्ट के, स्टेट डेपुटेशन रिजर्व। तो आज जो अगर फोकस करें रिवर फ्रंट डेवलपमेंट, ये आप सबको पता है, और अगर बालाजी हैं तो उनका भी ये बहुत बड़ा ड्रीम है कि ये जो हमारे पास 300-400 एकड़ घग्गर की लैंड जो प्राइवेट ओनर्स की थी 93-94 में गलती से या डिजाइन से अक्वायर हुई, इट इज गुड। मैं तो ये कहता हूँ कि चाहे कोई भी मुआवजा दें, इस जमीन को यूटिलाइज करें। ये हमारे पास 25 साल से है, घग्गर के पास की है, पर इसका हम किसी तरह का यूटिलाइजेशन, इसका अर्बनाइजेशन तो नहीं हो सकता, इन द सेंस प्लॉटेड नहीं हो सकती, पर डिग्रेडेड लैंड को रिहेबिलिटेट करके रिवर फ्रंट डेवलपमेंट में प्रोमेनेड, ईटिंग पार्क्स कुछ जगह करा भी है इन्होंने, हर्बल गार्डन लगभग इसी में बनाया है, इसी जमीन में। तो स्ट्रिप डेवलपमेंट ऑल अलोंग द रिवर विद इन द टाउन कैन टेक प्लेस, एंड ये जो आपकी किताब है इससे हमें बहुत मदद मिलेगी, हमें गाइड करेगी। उसके अलावा भी नो डाउट all the departmental officers and the organization, the Institute of Town Planners, they are welcome to give suggestions how to develop it, monetize it so that it is a self-funded project। इसी से जो इनकम आए उसी से इसका विकास हो जाए। HSVP थोड़े फाइनेंशियल स्ट्रेन में है, तो अच्छा रहेगा कि ऐसा मॉडल हो जो कि इसी से इनकम आके इसी के विकास पे लग जाए। आप सब जानते हैं हरियाणा में EDC और IDC का कॉन्सेप्ट। पंचकुला अनफॉर्चुनेटली हैज नो EDC। अब पिंजौर कालका में है, पंचकुला एक्सटेंशन में है EDC, but there is no EDC for Panchkula town because this was conceived and developed by the Urban Estates Department, and till sector 28, 29 entirely HSVP and Department of Urban Estates owned property, where the development cost is built into the plots, and there are no licensees within these sectors. So this is a town which is purely Urban Estate Department earlier till 1977, and after 1977 HSVP, the erstwhile Huda, is the agency which has to spend, which acquires, floats, develops and maintains the entire town। इसमें अगर आप जो 300-400 एकड़ का ये रिवर फ्रंट डेवलपमेंट है, चित्र तो बहुत खूबसूरत है। इनफैक्ट जब VK गोयल मेरे पास इसका प्रारूप दिखाने आए थे तो मैंने कहा तो बड़ा सुंदर है, कहाँ का है, तो उन्होंने बताया कि ये कंप्यूटर जनरेटेड इमेजरी है। मैंने कहा कोशिश ये होनी चाहिए कि पंचकुला में ऐसी बने और असली फोटो ऐसी लग पाए जैसी कि आपने ये दिखाई है. This is a beautiful and huge with lot of public spaces for people to spend their leisure on the banks of Ghaggar. मैं यही मान रहा हूँ कि आगे जो घग्गर है इसमें चाहे थोड़ी बहुत पॉन्टेज भी करनी पड़े, मीटर टू मीटर, ज्यादा नहीं, कौशल्या डैम बना ही हुआ है, पर इसी के आगे थोड़ा बहुत अगर वियर बना के हमें पॉन्टेज करनी पड़े तो उसमें भी कोई नुकसान नहीं है, क्योंकि घग्गर इज हाईली सीजनल रिवर. आप देखिएगा, अभी जाके देखें, आपके तो बहुत पास है, जो इंस्टीट्यूशन की बिल्डिंग है सेक्टर 2 में, आप अभी जाके देखें घग्गर ब्रिज पे, तो ये बिल्कुल एक छोटा सा नाला सा बह रहा होगा, मे बी 5, 7, 10 क्यूसेक पानी, और बरसात में इसमें 60,000 क्यूसेक पानी होता है और लगभग बाढ़ की स्थिति आ जाती है. तो हाउ टू यूटिलाइज दैट to create some artificial pondage in the area जहां ये promenade या walkways या park develop होंगे. मैं अंत में आपको जो present president हैं श्री वीके गोयल, उनको बधाई देता हूं, और इनकमिंग जो भी आज बनेंगे उनको शुभकामनाएं देता हूं, और मुलाकात होती रहेगी. हम भी हरियाणा में हैं, आप लोग भी हरियाणा में हैं. पद तो आने जाने रहते, आते जाते रहते हैं. बड़े सारे पद इसने बता दिए. प्रिंसिपल सेक्रेटरी HSVP कोई नहीं होता, नरेंद्र. प्रिंसिपल सेक्रेटरी अर्बन एस्टेट एंड टाउन एंड कंट्री प्लानिंग, 2 ही पद हैं, और फिलहाल मैं उस पर काबिज हूँ सरकार के आदेश के तहत. तो मुलाकात होती रहेंगी, चाहे इस रूप में चाहे किसी अन्य रूप में. सभी को बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं, एंड आई वुड एक्सपेक्ट दैट अजीत, इफ ही इज हियर, अदरवाइज आई विल टॉक टू हिम, दैट इसको प्रोजेक्ट को लेना चाहिए और इस जमीन का प्रॉपर यूटिलाइजेशन हो पाए, ये देखना चाहिए. धन्यवाद. जय हिंद.
Thank you, sir. We will incorporate the suggestions, sir, received from you, sir. Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir. We will incorporate the valuable suggestions, sir, received from you, sir. Now I request to or for the presentation, please.
Good morning, everyone. The topic of today's seminar is riverfront development along the Ghaggar River. The study is divided into 2 chapters. First encompasses literature study, and the second chapter includes research study area. Followed by the content, I like to give a brief introduction of the concept of riverfront development. Industrial Revolution was a major landmark for riverfronts. Another major change was seen in the late 20th century, when retreat of industries from riverfronts led to change in approach towards development of riverfronts in urban areas. Today, riverfront developments are viewed globally as a means of economic and cultural growth. However, in India, river carries a religious status from Vedic ages. For example, a few examples are quoted as Haridwar is developed along Ganga River, Mathura temple along Yamuna, Gurdwara Kiratpur side along Satluj. These are few examples of riverfront development which have religious significance. River and riverfronts were important components of social fabric. Next, definition of riverfront development as per US Federal Coastal Zone Management Act. It is any developed area that is densely populated and is being used for or has been used for urban, residential, recreational, commercial, shipping, or industrial purposes. The first waterfront development project was started in Boston and Baltimore in 1960s. This slide shows a few types and characteristics of riverfront. First is natural comprises beaches, wetlands, wildlife habitats, sensitive ecosystem. These are few examples of natural waterfronts. Secondly, environmental riverfronts, which includes shore stabilization, wetland preservation, etc. The public waterfront includes parks, street and vistas, and waterways, and few types of mixed-use waterfront, recreational, historic. Next is working waterfronts. For example, the river-related activity like fishing, boat repair, these all comes under working waterfronts. Next, redeveloping waterfronts, where the land uses have recently changed or were vacant and underutilized properties suggest potential. For example, Thames River. Next, need for riverfront development. As a river attracts people and has riverfronts have emerged in lively urban codes of cities. People are inherently drawn to water, hence waterfront development provides a unique opportunity for developing a strong image. So there is a need for developing the riverfronts. Next, objectives of riverfront is to spread awareness among people, connect the river with people and city in order to enhance the tourism, to protect the floodplains from adverse effect of development activities. Nextly, I'd like to introduce the concept of riverfront development, which is to reach a high level of harmony between human beings and water, creating an energetic and healthy urban riverfronts. Some of the steps to be followed for developing riverfronts are as firstly, utilization of existing assets, like existing assets such as embankments, natural vegetation, open spaces, religious spaces. In case of Ghaggar River, we try to utilize the existing assets by integrating them. Second, the vision to create shared community. Clear vision for developing a project to make the project visible. Thirdly, a small start to make the big changes. Good public spaces don't happen overnight. Placemaking is about doing more than planning. Fourthly, accessibility to public use. The waterfront should be accessible for everyone to greatest extent as possible, as waterfronts with continuous public access are much more popular. Fifth is linked destinations along the waterfront. Waterfront that is continuously walkable with a variety of activities along the way will successfully link destinations. The benefits and advantages of riverfronts are as following. First is creation of job. The development of riverfront will help in creating many jobs. Secondly, it will help in creating, it will act as a source of revenue for government, as shops, restaurant, sport activities will create revenue for government. Thirdly, it will help in developing the tourism. Variety of attractions will enhance the tourism of that area. Fourthly, maintenance of river. Then next is habitat protection and restoration. Sixth is provide the general public space. Seventh, economic spin-off will be there. As by development of riverfront, it will also help in rising the values of property along that stretch. Next is creates a healthy and active urban environment. I have taken the case study of Sabarmati riverfront development, which is a successful riverfront development in India. Sabarmati riverfront is a waterfront developed along the banks of Sabarmati in Ahmedabad, which was in 1960s, and the construction began in 2005. Since 2012, it is gradually open to the public. The main objectives of this project were: first, environmental improvement; second, improvement in social infrastructure; and third, sustainable development. Why the Sabarmati was developed? The need of Sabarmati riverfront development was because untreated sewage flowed into the river, which posed a major health and environmental hazard. The riverbank settlement were disastrously prone to floods. There was a lackluster development. The river is inaccessible and it became a virtual divide between the two parts of the city. As shown in the figures given below, that's the original condition of the rivers before the development of Sabarmati was taken. These are design strategies which are followed there for developing the Sabarmati. Riverfront development reclaims the Sabarmati bank, and the figure given below shows the before and after scenario using these design strategies. These are major components of project as these shown in this map. First is a river promenade. There are two types of promenades, lower promenade and upper promenade. The lower promenade is having minimum width of 10 meters, which lies above the water level. And the upper promenade hosts a variety of public buildings, which includes educational institutions, public parks, plazas, etc. Then second major component is parks and plazas. The project has used more than quarter areas for creating public spaces. These are few pictures which are along the Sabarmati stretch, like Flower Garden, Plaza at Gandhi Ashram, Riverfront Usmanpura. Next component is streets, which Sabarmati riverfront development streets have been constructed to serve as effective movement conduits. Both banks thus providing continuous access to the riverfront development. These streets have dedicated pedestrian paths with parking bays, cycle tracks, and carriageways. These are few sports facilities which has been introduced there, like cycling, recreational activities, cruise rides, sport car rides, kite flying. Then other amenities which are available there are riverfront market, exhibition center, event grounds, laundry campus, integrated outdoor vending areas. Nextly, this is the figure given on the left, showing the stretch selected for riverfront development along the Ghaggar River, which starts from 22 and the ending point is near sector 20. The total length of the stretch is 7 kilometers. There are many residential sectors in the vicinity of the site, as sector 22 to 28 lies in the vicinity of the Ghaggar River. The site selected is in close proximity to 3 national highways, Chandigarh-Shimla Highway, Delhi-Chandigarh Highway, and Dehradun Highway, which will act as a potential for the site development. The site selected for riverfront development also has many tourist attractions in the vicinity, which will act as a potential, like few are Pinjore Garden, Bhima Devi Temple, etc. And many hill stations also lie within the 100 kilometers from this site. The site selected for this is situated in urbanized area of Panchkula, and around 150 acres of the land or riverbed stood already acquired by HSVP. The area, now I'd like to explain the area potential and feasibility. Even in Chandigarh, a Cho, namely Ancho, with Atawa Cho in Mohali passing through Chandigarh, has been developed as a layer valley. Same concept, we can develop the Ghaggar riverfront, which have more potential than that Cho. Secondly, this figure shows that the site has a magnificent setting. The river forms an excellent opportunity to provide for an active public space. It also has social infrastructure like festival grounds, religious places, like Chhat Ghat is nearby, Nada Sahib Gurdwara and other temples are shown in the figures given in the right side. Also, there is a IT park situated in the sector in the vicinity, and the proposed NIFT, National Institute of Fashion Technology, is also located there. Urgent need for riverfront development of Ghaggar River, because the untreated sewage flowed into the river, which act as a major health and environmental hazard. Secondly, the landfill site is in close proximity of the river Ghaggar, which is less than 800 meters away, which contributes to severe other hazards. Fire incidents are very common as it often catches fire during the summer due to methane gas production in the dumping site nearby. Worst affected are the elderly and newborn babies. The major aim of the project are shown in the figure given below. First is to rejuvenate the urban life and space through improved quality of life. Secondly, facilitating the recreational and cultural activities. Thirdly, organizing informal business. Fourth goal is to plan a development that would be oriented towards creating an urban form. The objective of this project will be firstly ecological preservation. We will keep the ecological concepts in mind while planning and developing this site. Secondly, create social and public spaces. Third, designing the development that is in harmony with natural character of the area. This is the methodology which we have followed throughout the study. Firstly, we have carried out the literature review in the background on the riverfront development in general. Secondly, formulation of study objective has been done. Then next, data has been collected from various offices like DTP office, Panchkula, Survey of India, Chandigarh, to analyze the need, area potential, and feasibility for developing a successful waterfront. Then next is identification of study area and its geographical setting. At last, the findings from this analysis and guiding principles important to understand the behavior of public space in order to attract and meet the public expectations. These are few site challenges and the solution to them are also presented in this slide. First challenge is disconnected waterfront. As the volume of water flowing in the river is very low and not too much visible, as there is absence of visual linkages and physical linkages with riverfront, which results in the riverfront is poorly connected in terms of pedestrian links, function, views, and vistas. And the solution to this challenge is construction of small 2 feet high check dam at regular intervals to visually enhance the marine character of the river. Next challenge is there is limited scope for development as it given in the layout plan of IT Park, Panchkula by HSIDC. Land use along the Ghaggar area has already been fixed, leaving no more scope for giving any proposal as shown in the map given below. As the back of the plots abuts Ghaggar river, which acts as an obstacle in the view, which results in underutilization view of the Ghaggar river. And the solution for this problem is we have proposed an area between retaining wall and the Ghaggar bed as an eco-green zone and hanging out area. The location of the river have an advantage and scope of creating recreational spaces. Next challenge is weak public life pattern. As the site is well connected with the areas developed by HSVP and HSIDC, yet there is a fragile pattern of urban life. Most of the activities taking place are considered necessary. As a result of this, the site does not have a distinct character and is poorly denied and is lacking physical and visual linkages connected and fail to generate public life activities. And the solution for this problem is to identify the key points along the Ghaggar, which we have done in the further slides. Further beautification, provision of other recreational green infrastructure is also required to solve this problem. Fourth is linkages and connectivity. No doubt the site is well connected with the areas developed by HSVP and HSIDC, but it lags behind in connecting in regional context, as there is no direct linkage with SAS Nagar and other environmental recreational sports like Chatbir Zoo, Nature Park, Peer Machalla. As shown in the figure, the site needs to be connected by Airport Road, which is proposed as PR7 on priority basis. So the So it results into the proposed road needs to be constructed on priority basis in order to tap the hidden potential of the area. And the solution is to enhance the quality and efficiency of road connectivity, complete the unconstructed portion of that proposed road, which is named as PR7, and it is connecting the bridges of 21 and 22, the Ghaggar River with Dividing Road 24 and 26. Next is minimal open space identity, which is also acting as a challenge in this development. As the public space network is unclear and the site lacks interesting, inviting, and varied public spaces, there are several religious monuments in close proximity, but it does not translate into the place where you just spend time in public spaces, which results in the poor public space and the office and institution focused activities. And the solution to this is in order we can enhance it by we can enhance the quality of life there by integrating the existing parks such as herbal garden, meditation park, and other spaces with the Ghaggar riverfronts and other proposals. Next is as the area along the Ghaggar river is mainly institutional and office focused area, which is also acting as a challenge in this project, as the site is dominated by offices and institutions. So the consequence is a lack of diversity and fewer attraction and unique experience, which leads to impacts the use of public spaces in area adjoining the IT park and NIF. And the solution to this is to enhance the safety and living quality of area, such as activities and functions should infuse and enhance the safety, boost economy, and underutilize natural beauty of the area. This slide is showing the immediate context of the Ghaggar river front. This map is showing the behavior of this site. Firstly, these are marked on the map. First is IT Park, which is situated near that area. Gurdwaras, Panchkula Golf Club, a few stadiums are also in the vicinity. Proposed NIFT, Chat Puja Ghat, etc. These all nearby this river. Then these are few slides showing the religious significance. Chat Puja Ghat, as there is as then which is used extensively used for Chat Puja festival. Then next is an institutes. Proposed important government institutional buildings like NIFT, offices in within IT Park. The design concept of the river aimed as by dividing the site into 4 zones. First development zone will include the proposal for development along the river in vacant land, which is marked on the map, which is near that bridge near sector 22. Second is proposed commercial, which is already proposed by town and country planning. Third is green economic zone as marked on the map. And the 4th zone is preservation of existing assets like existing herbal garden and meditation garden. And this map on right is showing the different 4 zones. Next, planning consideration and proposals. First is create an active space along the Ghaggar, which can be created by giving beautiful landscape, fitness and recreational facilities, and also by proposing activities like yoga center, kid parks, open gyms, as shown in the figures given below. Second, locate the public entrance to vending street. This vending zone would comprise of temporary structures as per the standards issued by HSVP, and some of the informal designs have been given in the slide. Third, tap into tourism potential to improve the economic wealth of the city. Proposals such as biodiversity theme park, water sports, audiovisual show, amphitheaters, heritage walk, etc. can be given on this site and can be proposed implemented. Next is preservation of activities. To preserve the existing activities like herbal garden, which is in sector 26, and other parks and temples such as Shani Temple, which is in sector 3. These all features can be integrated and can be used. Existing retaining wall, which will be used to protect the natural waterfront as per the layout plan of HSIDC. Alternate should be given to slum dwellers in order to improve the riverside development. This is marine development and other recreational activities and walkways along the Ghaggar. And these are the two sections showing the before and after implementation. First is showing the wild growth and encroachment along the Ghaggar bed as existing marine character of Ghaggar, giving shabby looks, hiding the natural scenic beauty of the area. And in the second section, it is shown that proposals such as walkways, plantation, children parks, ghats, and stud walls, etc., can be given in that area. Next is gateways. Gateways, as shown in the figures given below, can be created there in order to enhance the aesthetics of that area. Then next, keynodes can be provided. Keynodes are those structures which are positioned at junctions of the area and serve as an accelerator for generating interest, awareness, and income, such as restaurants, information centers, toilets, etc. Then we can also provide walkways along the river. These are mainly three. These are categorized as: first is walking in the river, walking by the river, walking in integration with the parks and other existing components. First is walking in the river. Walking in river is made possible by safe and inspected pedestrian access on walkways. Along the walk, the pedestrian can stop and at some points by sitting under viewing kiosk, as shown in the figures given on the right side. This figure shows the existing viewing kiosks along the Ghaggar river, which can be used to create the kiosk given on the right. Before, as this is a before and after proposal. Next is walking by river. Walking by river is accomplished by central network of pedestrian and cycle routes which connect the length of park. As these figures are showing before and after scenario, there is an existing retaining wall along the Ghaggar, which is shown in the figure number 1, which can be used by creating steps along the river, which is shown in the figure number 2, or by creating river walks along the river. Third is walking in integration with the park and other existing components. Walking in integration, as there are already existing herbal garden and meditation garden, we can integrate those parks with and develop it as a walking. Like first figure is showing existing herbal park, second is showing the existing meditation garden, which can be used by integrating with the proposal to create the third proposal as shown in the third figure. Then public facilities and the easy accessibility. Human interaction with water is foremost feature. Obstacles to be curtailed, walkways, trails, cycle trails, benches, etc. can be proposed in the parks and along the walkways. Accessible waterfronts, luminous paved tiles and benches, steps to touch water, and secured multiple entrance plazas to have an effective riverfront development. These are few figures and components which we can propose, which we can implement in our project. These are challenges as discussed earlier, so I'm skipping this slide. Next, hoardings can be hoardings as per the designs for advertisement can be installed, which will be a major source of income. Gaming zone areas can be given. Local informal bazaar kiosks for vegetables, fruits, vendors, etc. can be installed. public convenience, which can be done by utilizing landscaping rather than walls, fences, to create a semi-public private buffers. So at last, I'd like to conclude my presentation. As such study requires detailed engineering surveys of riverbed and its fronts, as cutting and filling remodeling is required to implement the proposal. So therefore, this needs to be taken as a special project and outsourced to specialized agency which can undertake the detailed study surveys and prepare the comprehensive project report and implement the same. Thank you.
Thank you, Gurpreet, for making a wonderful presentation and sharing the study. We are hopeful that the recommendations of the study will be taken forwarded through HRC and will be implemented. We will also take up the recommendations made in the study with HSVP for its implementation. Now, KK Khandelwal sir has also joined us from Gurgaon. He is our guest of honor today for this workshop. DTP Sanjay sir is there. Sir is connected. Connected, sir. आगे सर आगे.
Good morning, Apur. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. On behalf of ITP HRC, sir, I welcome KK Khandelwal sir as guest of honor for this workshop. Sir has, to his credit, many degrees in many doctorate in various fields, and he has made many publications to his credit. Sir has led the organizations RERA Gurugram, and sir is chairing the organization, and sir has structured this organization in such a way that now this organization, RERA, is really helping the working out the strategies to help the allottees of the real estate projects, and various policies are now being implemented through RERA in very effective manner with the guidance of sir. Now I request DTP Sanjay sir, who is present there at Gurugram, to welcome sir, to felicitate with a bouquet to our guest of honor, Shri KK Khandelwal ji. I will also request KK Khandelwal sir to please release our newsletter, which is 22nd newsletter in the series of newsletters of ITPI HRC, sir. Now I request AK Singh sir, who is our chief guest, who wants to share his views on this workshop, please, sir.
Can you hear me, sir?
Very well, sir. Very well.
Sir, आपका परिचय नरेंद्र चूंकि जवान आदमी है, मैं बुजुर्गियत की तरफ जा रहा हूँ, 55 साल का हो रहा हूँ. सर की तारीफ यह है कि सर एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर गुड़गांव और उसके बाद एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर पंचकुला HSVP रहे हैं, जो कि तब HUDA हुडा के नाम से जाना जाता था, और बहुत भारी कंट्रीब्यूशन है. मैं तो SDM नू था जब सर एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर हुडा गुड़गांव थे. आप जो आज NH8 देख रहे हैं जो शहर के थ्रू जा रहा है और लाइफलाइन है गुड़गांव की, सर के टाइम का प्लानिंग है सारी। एंटायर राइट ऑफ वे एक्विजिशन प्लानिंग फॉर डुअल कैरेज वे, ये सब सर के टाइम बना। और उसके बाद सर पंचकुला में आए, यहाँ माता मनसा देवी का टेक ओवर, MDC का विकास और पंचकुला का विकास सब सर की सरपरस्ती में हुआ है। तो और आज सर चेयरमैन रेरा है, फर्स्ट फाउंडर चेयरमैन रेरा गुरुग्राम, जो कि 70-80% ऑफ अर्बन प्लानिंग है हरियाणा का। आई थिंक 70% लाइसेंसेस आर ओनली इन हिज डोमेन, द रेगुलेशन फॉर देम इज विद हिम। तो सर का बहुत बड़ा तजुर्बा है, बहुत ज्यादा तजुर्बा है और बहुत बड़ा कंट्रीब्यूशन भी है इन डेवलपिंग पंचकुला। तो सर ये जो आज किताब भी निकाली है रिवर फ्रंट डेवलपमेंट घग्गर, ये भी आपको भी एक कॉपी भिजवाएंगे सर। आपके सजेशंस भी चाहिए, आप पंचकुला के लगभग निर्माता हैं। उसके अलावा सर आपको ध्यान हो MDC 1 सेक्टर जो है राजीव गांधी एनवायरमेंट पार्क के नाम से जो HSVP ने डेलिनेट कर रखा है, उसमें खास विकास नहीं हुआ है। तो मैं VK गोयल आउटगोइंग प्रेसिडेंट एंड इनकमिंग जो भी आएंगे उनके थ्रू ITPI से भी रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि उसके बारे में भी एक स्टडी प्रो बोनो करके दें, उसमें क्या हो सकता है। सर अब मेरा अनुरोध है कि आप सभा को संबोधित करें। धन्यवाद। जय।
Thank you, Apur. Good morning, friends. Mr. A.K. Singh, Principal Secretary, Town and Country Planning, and Chief Guest of this program. Mr. V.K. Goyal, Chairman, ITPI, Haryana Regional Chapter. Mr. Narendra Kumar, Secretary, ITPI HRC. Mr. S.D. Saini, CTP retired. And I can say he was one very, very good town planner who has worked with me. I was impressed by his working. And Gurpreet Kaur, Research Officer. Gurpreet and Mr. Saini, you deserve appreciation for giving a very, very good presentation in this seminar. Members of Town Planners, Institute of Town Planners India, Haryana Regional Chapter, distinguished guests, and friends. First of all, I would like to congratulate ITPI National Chapter. You know, in 1947, when it was formed, there were only 5 town planners in Delhi. Even the minimum number required to register a society was not there. But over the years, this ITPI has come a long way, and now there are nearly 5,000 members of ITPI, which is a matter of great satisfaction. I congratulate the continued management of the ITPI who have been giving their contribution and now brought out this institute at this stage. Friends, I must compliment A.K. Singh for one very good initiative that has been taken. In last 50 years, there has been very, very slow availability of affordable housing in the state. But in these last 5 years, we have exceeded what was available in last 50 years. So the town planners of the state, the leadership of the Town and Country Planning Department deserves all appreciation. They have done a great service to those people who are really in need of affordable housing. And I compliment both the government, both the leadership, and also the town planners of the state. I am extremely grateful to the members and office bearers of HRC to invite me to attend this seminar on riverfront development, Ghaggar River, and to release newsletter of Haryana Regional Chapter of Institute of Town Planners of India. I must compliment the Haryana Regional Chapter of Institute of Town Planners India to have organized seminars and webinars throughout the year on water management, discourse on emerging urban planning solutions, biodiversity of Haryana, artificial intelligence and urban planning, geospatial technologies for ensuring better habitats, spatial approach for utilization of linear vacant land along the railway tracks and roads. I am extremely happy to note that ITPI members are contributing to the growth of town planning by adopting intellectual, technical, and professional approach. If we somehow say I stands for intellectual input, T stands for their technical prudence, and P stands for their professional approach. Town planners in the state of Haryana have contributed tremendously in the planned growth of urban areas in the state. I compliment you wholeheartedly, but also like to mention at the cost of annoying some of you that we have made beautiful plans on the drawing board, very colorful plans, very impressive plans, very artistic plans, very convincing plans, but somehow the implementation has been poor. Enforcement has been highly disappointing. The green areas shown in the development plans have converted into unhealthy and ugly slums. Unauthorized colonies are springing up. You can't be blamed. Certainly you can't be blamed for that. But certainly you will feel miserable when the painting you made has been spoiled by greedy and unsocial elements, glove in hand with the politicians, bureaucrats, police, and many more. Although efforts are made to contain such aberrations, but results are not very encouraging. We have made very good development plans by your highly professional approach, but just see the fate and look at the ground realities. We have colonies, but no water supply. There is a ban on extracting underground water, and tanker mafia is prospering, exploiting the same groundwater. We have colonies, but no electricity supply for years together. Residents are suffering and depending on expensive generating sets electricity. We have not matched development of colonies with the development of master services. Certainly, your development plan does not synchronize with the development of at least very basic services like master roads, master sewerage, master drains, and even majority of community facilities. World is changing very fast. We have to also take care of changing ground realities and have to provide solutions in terms of infrastructure development. Why people should suffer on account of inefficiency of those who are responsible for providing services. Most of the towns in our state do not seem to have been developed as planned. Apur Kumar is very fond of reading good books, and I hope he might have read this book by Mrs. Stove's famous novel, Uncle Tom's Cabin. In this novel, there was a little Negro girl. When she was asked who made her, she only replied, I expect I just grown. These towns seem to have just grown without any respect for development plan. Mr. Apur Kumar Singh, I must compliment you. You are the one in whose time I have seen encroachments being raised to the ground in this town. Gurgaon, there are a lot of mafias operating. It is your team who has really delivered very well in last few months. I must compliment you. Please continue this. You will be saving this town from illegal colonies, from slums, and from these mafias. Take any town in Haryana like Faridabad, Gurgaon, Panipat, Yamunanagar, and you will find it began long ago as a small village. And as the population increased, new houses and streets were built just as seemed most convenient at that moment, until the town gradually covered the surrounding country with bricks and mortar as it extended without any definite scheme at all. The result is a confused labyrinth of slums, streets and roads that have been laid out with little consideration for convenience or health or beauty by these miscreants, by these socially, I can say these miscreants and these gunda elements, those who are responsible for developing unauthorized colonies. The result is that we are having cities where we are having slums with narrow street and lanes, very congested, inconvenient, unhealthy, and more modern manufacturing towns like Panipat and Faridabad are very ugly and dirty in addition. To alter such an old towns is not very difficult, if not impossible, because enormous expenses it would involve. But in laying out new areas in these towns, town planning has done extremely good job. If we compare our towns, any Huda area, HVP area, in any small town like Jind, even or any other town, and when we compare with our neighboring states, we will find our town planning is much, much superior. Our facilities which we have created, the facilities which we have conceived in our planned areas are much better compared to any neighboring state. A good example is that the laying out and building of sectors and colonies by HVP and private developers in the state, which was done according to a well thought out plans made by you town planners, and I compliment you all. What has to be kept in mind in planning a new town is the necessity for wide streets and open spaces like public parks and gardens, which are rightly called the lungs of a town, to provide plenty of fresh air for the inhabitants. The conventional, now I would like to make a request to ITPI, whatever conventional education we are having in architecture and urban planning in India, it alienates them from society in which they live and work in at least two profound ways. First, they are taught these subjects as one that is expected to service the needs of a new kind of society, a modern society in making. But in another way, they are required to simultaneously reject the characteristics of the existing society in order to validate the relevance of what they are taught. In this manner, the pedagogy assumes that all problems are generically universal and so too all solutions. It replicates the content developed in advanced society, celebrates their heroes and cities, their models as examples to emulate in the expectation of achieving similar benchmarks of economic and social advancement in India. So, of course, there have been honorable exceptions to this model, but the works of sensitive practitioners like, I must quote the name of Mr. Balkas Doshi, only prove the rule. Raj Revolsman designed the Asian Games village. It was that of a contemporary housing complex based on modern building bylaws, but it took its cue from a special structure of historic town of Jaisalmer. I compliment Shri V.K. Goyal, Chairman ITPI HRC, editor of this newsletter. The newsletter contains useful information, not only for town planners, but also for others in a very lucid and simple manner. The newsletter design and layout is impressive and pleasant. Friends, town planners have to play a very important role in the society. Their role revolves around 5 P's. It is the permission, it is the prohibition, it is the promotion, it is the protection, and it is the prosecution. The town planning is a permission for right land use, it is prohibition regarding illegal land use, it is promotion of healthy living, it is protection of environment, and it is prosecution of wrongdoers. Today, I understand the old team will be retiring and new team will be taking over after this seminar. I compliment the old team and I also congratulate the new team, and I also congratulate HRC for unanimously electing their office bearers, although those are not declared, but the Mr. Sudhir Chauhan and Mr. Vijay, I compliment both of them, I congratulate both of them for being chairman and the secretary of this ITPI Haryana regional chapter. The town planners also play a role of a trinity of Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh. Like Brahma, town planners create development plans. Like Vishnu, they implement development plans. Like Mahesh, they enforce development plans and destroy anything which comes on the ground against the development plans, unauthorized colonies, slums, unauthorized construction, encroachment. The role as destroyers of evils like Seva needs to be strengthened to avoid foul play with the development plan by the miscreants. And I again compliment Sri Apur Kumar Singh, as in his speech, he made a mention he would like to increase the number of town planners in the state. Yes, it is need of the hour. We are having only 5,000 town planners in the country, whereas the ITPI ex-national chairman, he estimates that there will be requirement of 3 lakh town planner by the end of 2031. Sir, we must have requisite number of town planners so that we can really see our development plans taking shape in reality on the ground. Number is required. We should not have that kind of mentality, look, why to give more number, why to give more number. That is normally the attitude in the finance department. And I think you will be able to convince finance department and you will increase the number. At least in Haryana, there should be 1,000 town planners, both in public and private sector. Thank you very much, sir, for giving me this opportunity, for saying good words about me. And you are always like a younger brother to me. You will always remain. My affection is all with you. I pray God for your happiness, prosperity, and your further progress. Similar are my sentiments for all the town planners present here. And particularly, I thank Mr. Goyal for giving me this opportunity to interact with you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for motivating and guiding. We will definitely work as per your suggestions and guidance. And we hope in future also, sir, we'll keep receiving such guidance. And as we deliberate and discuss more, we reach towards better results. And as a profession, as a town planner on behalf of whole ITPI HRC, I once again welcome and thanks, sir, for giving time from your busy schedule. And now I request Chairman Shri V.K. Goyal, sir, to please give the guest of honor, sir.
Good afternoon. Today we had a very relevant topic, and rivers are very vibrant, and if utilized properly, they can help in creating beautiful landscape and save the land from unauthorized constructions, which later becomes difficult to retrieve. We are really thankful and obliged by Sri A.K. Singh sir, our Principal Secretary, for having guided us and accepted our invitation and guiding us so beautifully, and complementing the department by way of creation of additional post, which is really need of the hour, so that we can have more, better and planned development. Sir, regarding history, you pointed out, you are right. It was in DC's conference at Simla in 1956 that this T&CP department was created, or an idea was floated. There must have been enlightened officers like you and Khandelwal sir, who encourage us and can see the future. Prior to 1956, there were only 2 assistant town planner in the state, whole Punjab, working under an executive engineer. Thank you, sir, for guiding us and protecting the department for so long, and preparing its future vision plan. Regarding the river, you have rightly said, sir, and thank you for recommending to the CA that it needs implementation, because otherwise the land lying unutilized and vacant at site is prone to unauthorized construction, and then it becomes very difficult to retrieve it. We can see the example of Khori land, for which the Honorable Supreme Court has directed to remove all the construction within 2 months. And it is really a very pathetic and miserable stage for those poor people who are staying there and will be now uprooted. And hence, there is need of the hour to take timely action as advised by you. We are also thankful to Khandelwal sir, our honorable chairman of ARERA, Gurugram, for guiding us so well. And it is always a pleasure to work under your guidance, and hope you will continue to guide us in future as well. We are also thankful to all other officers of ITPI, and especially from other departments who have come on a phone call from the UT administration, Chief Architect Mr. Kapil Setia, and DTPs, ATPs, and local bodies, HSIDC, all our sister departments, and many people have joined. It was really a difficult situation due to pandemic that we couldn't have it at this scale, but certainly we will continue with our efforts to take more important topics and undertake research. And the idea of ITPI is to disseminate information in a scientific manner so that land development is promoted and unauthorized construction, as advised by Honorable Chairman ARERA, is curtailed from the very beginning. The sir has rightly given 5 Ps, and the example of Trinity all play important role, and we don't have to only plan, have to take also the corrective measure by way of enforcement of those plans. We will take your suggestion in right earnest, sir, and try to do our best. We are thankful to our senior Mr. R.P. Singh, ex-Vice President of ITPI, Mr. Saini sir, for taking the time in spite of his knee surgery for monitoring and guiding us in making this workshop a success. I again convey my thanks to all, especially to executive committee members and many people who have been working, to Gurpreet also for working so hard and making the presentation. Thank you, everyone. Now, may I request the secretary that some bouquets which could not be presented earlier be now presented. Thank you again. Thank you.
Sir, we have our ITPI members who have contributed towards this building and to the profession. And on behalf of ITPI HRC, I take this opportunity to felicitate them also. So now, first I request Nadeem sir to present a bouquet to Shri R.P. Singh, who is retired Chief Town Planner and former Vice President of ITPI New Delhi. Nadeem sir. Now I request Shri Hitinder Singh, architect, to felicitate Shri S.D. Saini sir, who is retired Chief Town Planner and also former Vice President of ITPI. We are happy to have Shri Kapil Setia ji, Chief Architect, Union Territory, UT, Chandigarh. So I request Divya Dogra to please come and felicitate sir with the bouquet. We have our new member at ITPI New Delhi Council, Shri Sudhir Chauhan. So I request DTP Lata Hooda Madam to felicitate Sudhir sir. with this, now the stage has come to conclude this workshop. So before concluding, once again, on behalf of ITPI HRC, I convey our sincere thanks to Shri A.K. Singh sir for the chief guest of this workshop, Shri K.K. Khandelwal sir, to be agreed to the guest of honor of this workshop. All the town planners present here, the members of the association, I convey sincere thanks for making this workshop a success, and we'll keep meeting this on these issues and deliberate on the relevant issues of urban planning. So with this, I conclude the workshop and invite everybody for the tea. Thank you so much.
Some lunch is there. Please have. AGM होगा तो members
I request the Haryana ITPI members to please stay back for the AGM meeting, which will be followed by tea. So please stay back for the AGM meeting. Thank you. मीटिंग से बीच में चाय और उसके बाद दूसरी मीटिंग वीडियो